Hello guys and welcome to my Stamina Dragonite build for Homestead called Stick Around. This build revolves around keeping our enemies stunned on cooldown and keeping them rooted, ideally 100% of the time, combined with some snares makes one of the most annoying builds that you can go up against. So how do we get annoying? So first we're running Heroic Slash, that's solid damage combined with snare and minor maim. Then we're running Noxious Breath to get that physical penetration. We're running Igneous Shield, basically 4k shield with some major mending on top of it. Really great combined with the DK passives and your heavy armor passives. You'll be healing really a lot. Resolving Vigor, not much to say about this ability. Heal over time, try to keep it up. Fossilize, that's the bread and butter for this build. You basically disorient your enemy. You have some time to set up your burst because they can take some damage, so even when your dots are on, you can heal up, get your Take Flight or Dawnbreaker ready and get going. We're running the Dawnbreaker on the front bar, a really good ultimate against groups and against vampires. On the back bar, we're running Volatile Armor. By the way, I hate this bug. Seriously. I don't know why I didn't fix this yet. So we're running Volatile Armor, a really great ability to take Nightblades out of stealth and of course your major protections, your major resistances, and you return some damage to melee attackers, which is nice in combination with your dots. Executioner, highly recommend this ability over Reverse Slice because when you're executing somebody you want to kill them, so that extra damage, especially when they're around 30% or 35%, is really noticeable. Rally, your heal over time, but mainly your burst heal. You combine that with your Igneous Shield. Stampede, this is your gap closer. I think you would be able to get around it with Shuffle because of course snares are really annoying on this build because you're trying to be in their face, and Stampede is also great against Magicka and Stamina Sorks because they'll try to block you with their mines, they try to streak away, use their Dark Deal. So you get in there, you go through the mines like through butter, you get to them when they're trying to Dark Deal, you interrupt them. That's the way to kill Sorks. So I'm gonna be honest with you, I run this ability almost solely for killing Sorks. And Rearming Trap, that's your other ability for rooting your enemies. Combined with Fossilize, I think I forgot to say that immobilizes for 3 seconds, so you time that nicely with Rearming Trap, and you'll be getting if it's a Magicka build, they'll mostly not try to roll out because they know you will run them out of stamina eventually, so you'll be keeping them on one spot basically all the time. And with stamina builds, it's still good because when they roll out, they'll try to come back for you, they'll get trapped anyway. Really amazing skill. And on top of that, you're getting that minor force, increasing your critical damage. And then we're running Take Flight combined with some serious heavy attack power. This is gonna be your main burst to take people down. So onto the stats and the gear. We're running Tri-Stat Food because we're trying to push our Magicka high. We're running 3 Magicka based abilities, so you'll be getting that Magicka back from the heavy armor, but still a big pool will help you a lot, especially when you're getting back some Magicka from your ultimate. Try to push your high health high, your max health high, because you'll be benefiting if you are running a vampire. If you like to run a vampire, you'll be benefiting from the undead passive. Of course, I'm a Dunmer, so I don't get that max to that high max health, but if you are an Imperial or Orc, this is gonna go around 30k. Maximum stamina. On this bar we're almost 35k, and here we're 37 on the shield. Maximum stamina is mostly good to get some resources back, but it's really not the main damage on this build, since most of your damage will come from heavy attacks. But surely it boosts your low slash and your ultimate, so it's overall good, but we're focusing on weapon damage. The reason being is that when you take a look at the calculations, weapon damage, basically one weapon damage equals 40 stamina, so 500 weapon damage is like 20k stamina. You would never be able to leverage that weapon damage with some stamina, so that's why we're focusing on weapon damage. I can also recommend you to run Thief to get higher weapon crit. I don't really use the Thief because I feel like half of the time, maybe on this patch especially, most of the time you'll be fighting against classes that have shields, so your weapon crit won't matter that much, but it will matter when you go through the shield, so of course you can benefit from that nicely when you go through that shield with your heavy attack and then you hit them with the tech flight. I'm still experimenting. I think both warrior and thief are viable options. Okay, so to boost our weapon damage further, we're running 5 Alchemist. That's all heavy. I can honestly recommend you, I have this gear for some time now, I can honestly recommend you to go full Impan, because like I said, the infused won't matter that much, rather a Divine Peace would help. And we're running Malakina to, again, boost our weapon damage, Divines, and we're running Crag to get some physical penetration against those heavy targets. We're running Necklace of Agility, Ring of Agility, so 3-piece agility, all weapon damage. So yeah, your stamina recovery is really terrible, but we're DK, so we get a lot of resources back by using Earth and Heart abilities. That's both the Igneous Shield and the Fossilize. And we're also getting resources back from our ultimate. We're also getting back resources when getting hit. If you're a Red Guard, then you're getting resources back just by attacking. So there's a lot of ways to restore, even though I normally don't recommend running low recovery, because sometimes you have to rely, even as a Sorc, you have to rely with this recovery on your dark deal, and against good players that's not really reliable. And when you'll be fighting Stam Blades on this build, you also have to be really careful what abilities you use, because they'll be rolling around you like crazy and dodging your heavy attacks. So you can try to go for a cost reduction. You can try to go for recovery. I'm going with this now. It worked out fine. So Maelstrom Greatsword, defending. The reason we're running defending is that we're trying to set up our burst. Our resistances are quite solid, but on our two-hander, without defending, we would be sitting a lot less, right? It's 5k, and around 20,000. That's already a mark for some builds to almost ignore your resistance. And honestly, good players, they'll know that you're setting up your burst, so they'll try to interrupt your burst by putting their ultimate or stunning you and getting their burst off. So you want to be careful with how resistant you are on your main damage bar, your burst bar. That's why I'm running defending. So the champion points, still kind of experimenting with it. I can honestly recommend going a lot in Warlord, getting some magic reduction help as well. We're bashing from time to time, so get some cost reduction there. Especially in the next patch, we'll be spreading a lot of these points. Of course, we won't have the Warlord, so we'll be more focusing on recovery, which is not that high in this case. We're basically running all weapon damage. Tumbling, really important to be able to roll out of some really troubling situation or roll through the mines. Shadow Ward to reduce the cost of blocking, also really important this patch. Next patch we'll still see. Blessed, increase the healing for sure. It's a good way to go about it. You're boosting your healing even further. I'm tempering here with melee weapon expert, trying to get a really big heavy attack off. We're gonna be doing even around 10k on some players, non-crit, so it's really strong. You can also go a lot into precise strikes and maybe even combine with piercing. Seriously, there's a lot of setups. I'm still trying what would suit you, what would suit my needs the best. If you're running PvP, I would recommend really putting a lot of points into precise strikes, and you can benefit from that when you crit that nasty take flight. Mighty, yeah, you have to put a lot of points in there. It's a standard. Resistant, I would recommend even putting more points. Still, also not that sure about how much critical resistance you need, but I would recommend 2k. Thick skin to reduce some damage. Of course, we're a vampire, so Magicka Dragon Knights will give you a lot of trouble. So you want to reduce the damage a bit at least. We're running Elemental Defender 73, Hardy 83. Of course, this is kind of reflects our stats, because as DK your spell resistance will be always higher. So we're doing it like that to kind of make up for it, to get the Unchained as well. It's important. Quick recovery, again, boosting your heals. That's really good for this build. Just at the end of the video, I would like to show you some reference numbers. So fully buffed, really, we're running 45k weapon damage. If you have a weapon damage glyph, you are closing on 5k. The tooltip for Take Flight is 23,000. The tooltip for Heroic Slash is 9.2k. So really high numbers. I guess maybe if you pause, you can still catch the Dawnbreaker. Really big numbers. Really powerful burst. And like I said, you first wear them down, then you burst them down. Really solid setup for dueling in small scale. I'll be putting up some gameplay, so you can check this build in action, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Have a great time. Peace.